Hey, Delishees, grab a plate and feast on the delicious culture. I'm your host, Jon Francois. Oh, God, we have quite a meal this week. We are going to be talking with country music singer and songwriter based out of Nashville right now, Kaitlyn Croker. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Croker, so close.
Oh, I heard a radio personality say Crocker. Okay.
You know, they kind of just say it however they want to, but as far as I know, it's pronounced Croker.
You know, the funny thing is that was the first pronunciation that came to my mind. And then I watched the YouTube video of you being interviewed by a radio DJ, and then they said Crocker. And I was like, oh, okay, so it must be Crocker.
Yeah, I kind of just answer to anything and everything at this point.
Oh, man. No, you should answer to the correct pronunciation. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah. You're right. Funny story, was on a TV interview a few weeks ago in Tampa, and I didn't want to correct them, so they just kept saying Croker. But I think at the end I was like, my name is Kaitlyn Croker, everybody. Great to meet y'all.
Oh my God. Wow. It's almost like when people misspell my name in the usual ways that they would misspell Jonathan.
Yes.
Like they would say JOHNATHAN or THON. And at a certain point, I get what you're saying. It's like, all right, spell it however you want. JONATHAN is the correct spelling, but I'm too tired. I've been dealing with this for 34 years.
You can have it.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here, Kaitlyn. And before we get into your wonderful background in country music, we try to get to know our guests and have some icebreaker questions to start off with. So first off, as we are a pop culture and food themed podcast, let's start with the food side. What was a favorite meal or the favorite meal that you've had this past week?
Ooh, this week. So my favorite cuisine, which I just discovered last year, is Indian. So I'm gonna say tikka masala is my favorite all time. Anybody that knows me as of last year, that's it.
I love you, Kaitlyn. You and I are going to be best friends because not only have I been loving Indian lately, it got to a point where I basically made my wife make Indian food because she's the cook out of the two of us.
Oh my God.
Right. Yeah. So a meal that she's made a couple times is like, rice and butter chicken, and then she'll have like naan bread on the side.
I love her.
Right. I love her too. That's why I married her.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. Not to be clear, I didn't marry her just because she cooks great Indian food, but
It's a plus.
it is. It's a bonus. And
Bonus.
it's funny because I went to a Indian restaurant with a friend the other day, and what did I have? I had chicken tikka masala.
Yes, of course. Butter chicken and chicken tikka masala are my two staples. I've literally never had anything else. I should venture outside of it, but they work every time, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and I'm like you, like I kind of want to try as many new adventurous things as possible, but sometimes, especially when you're going to a restaurant and you're paying God knows how much because it's more expensive to eat these days, like you kind of want something familiar that you know and love.
Yes, exactly. I'm with you.
Oh my God. Now, do you like what's the spice level of your tikka masala?
Okay, so I do medium. I started off with mild. That I wanted to be a little bit more daredevilish. I have not been able to just like full send it yet. But one of these days I'm going to. Since eating Indian food, I'm obsessed with spice. I put like hot sauce on everything now.
Oh God.
I'm working my way up.
Yeah, my relationship with hot sauce is like all over the place. Like there could be a random moment in time where I'm like, you know what? Instead of ketchup, let me put hot sauce on my scrambled eggs. Why not? But for the most part, I'm more of a mild guy. Like my tikka masala that I had recently was on the mild side. And when I tasted my friend's mango chicken that had a medium spice level quality, it was almost like like I had to like just cough up a lung or something like that. Because to go from mild, like to go from mild, which is like literally just regular tasting tomato sauce over my tikka masala, to the medium level with the mango chicken, which is like that could be some real spice difference. It's it's quite something. It's quite something. But now, do you like regular naan bread or garlic naan?
Both. I just love garlic in general. So I'm gonna say I prefer that one. But if you put regular naan in front of me, it'll be gone. Like I will eat it.
Yes. And especially when you dip the naan in your chicken tikka masala, whatever butter chicken sauce. Oh my god!
Yes.
And do you wash it down with a mango lassi?
Yes, yes, of course. I had a salt one time. Did not like it, but the mango is amazing. I love it.
Oh god! And I know it's basically a mango yogurt in a cup, but like still,
It's
there's just
great.
I just don't know what the Indians have done, but they have really
I
like
know.
A plus in just in terms of delicacy. Now, is there like how's the Indian cuisine in Nashville? Is it pretty good?
You know what? I've only ever been to this one place, and it's I think it's award winning, I've been told, and it's this small little place right off of my exit. It's in a little log cabin. It's very, very unassuming, but it's a 10 out of 10 every single time.
Right. What's the place's name called so I can go there and eat
It's
it?
yeah, right? It's called, Punjabi Dhaba.
Oh, all right. That how do you spell that? Because that is difficult to spell.
That's a serious question.
Yeah. Should I just like type it on Google like PUN Indian
Yes,
restaurant
yes.
Nashville and
When
then it'll come up?
Nashville, it'll come up.
Oh
Exactly.
my god.
I
All
think
right.
I
So
found a food twin though in you.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you found you found a twin in me. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
There's not
Language.
there's not too many twins out there in the world where like you
No,
actually are not related to each other, but you feel like you're related to each other,
right.
and I think this is a match made in heaven. So
I agree.
yeah, yeah. We're gonna be Indian food best friends now.
Yes, yes, let's go.
Oh my god. All right. So I told another guest that my favorite meal of the week was like this chicken casserole, this sort of chicken pea breaded crust casserole that my wife made. But the Indian food that I ate with my friend Craig was literally like last Saturday, and we're recording this not even a week later.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna say the chicken tikka masala. That's gonna be my food too, at the risk of
there we go.
copying you. At the
Yes,
risk
it's so good. You can't not say it.
Yeah. Now, okay, that's our favorite actual meal. How about your favorite pop culture meal? Now, this is a TV show, a movie, a piece of music, maybe a live theater thing that you saw in Nashville, drag show, whatever. Anything
Okay.
that you have consumed that entertained you lately.
Ooh, well, I'm gonna say my favorite show is 1923, I think.
Oh, that's the Yellowstone spinoff. Yeah.
Yes, so good. The music is awesome. I think favorite musical I was just singing a few days ago is Phantom of the Opera. That one is
Oh,
such a special place in my heart.
why? Oh my god. Okay, I was telling my the same friend Craig when he appeared on my podcast about a production of Phantom of the Opera that I saw in Minneapolis like 8 9 years ago. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Have you seen the show live before?
I saw my high school do it, a play, but not professional Broadway, anything like that. But that's a dream of mine.
So I've never heard of that. I've always perceived Phantom of the Opera as like so grand that no school will ever touch it. How did that high school production turn out?
Pretty good. They hit all the notes, like, I felt it to my core, I I think
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
well.
Oh my god. Yeah. See a professional production if you can.
Okay,
I
I will.
I know that it's the legendary Broadway show in New York. It's done. It's not there anymore. But maybe there's like a regional production somewhere else. Could be maybe like Nashville has some good live theater there, right?
Yeah, 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 for sure. I will definitely keep my eye out because, yes, the songs are always in my head. I love singing them. They're just, so fun. It's so good.
Yeah, and I don't know if did your high school do like the legendary opening scene with like the chandelier coming down slowly? I don't know if they could afford that in the budget of a high school.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember, to be honest. I'm having trouble recalling.
Oh God,
Yeah.
you okay? Go see a professional production of Phantom of the Opera.
Well,
It'll blow
well,
your mind.
uh,
Um, yeah, no, not no, and I forget what the song is called, but the one that's like say da, 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 da. Like it's like the main song in the whole play where it revolves around him being all sentimental and melancholy about being a phantom in love with this normal human woman.
yes. Yeah, what is the name of that? Okay, I'll probably remember as, like, as soon as this is finished.
This is your homework assignment is to find
Yes.
two homework assignments. Find out the name of that Indian restaurant and go see a professional production of Phantom of the Opera.
I got you. I got you. I can do
It'll change
that.
your life. It'll change your life. At this point,
Oh,
it might be considered like the most basic of Broadway musicals because it's been around for so long, but it
it's a
hits
class.
it exactly. It's a classic. It hits so well.
Come
Oh my
on.
God. So is Phantom of the Opera, is that part of like how you wanted to get into music? Did that have some influence in a way in your singing and songwriting career?
It did. I was a musical theater kid at heart before pursuing songwriting and eventually country music. So I was, let's see, I've been in The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, actually Little Mermaid twice, Aladdin, and then a few like smaller off like made up ones, I guess. But my love of musical theater definitely sparked the love and passion for music and, portraying emotion through my songs.
Hmm. And so okay, so I would assume like so the order is like you started from musical theater and then like there's a certain, as you had mentioned, there's a certain performance, there's a certain expression of story
Yeah.
that led into you pursuing country music. So just take me to the beginning. So was it like the very beginning was singing at the house or singing at your church? Like where did this music thing start for you?
So going way, way back to 2009, I was like 4 years old, just always
Oh my
singing around the house.
no, 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 no. You're fine to be 4 years old. Okay. That's the year I graduated high school, so that's why I'm just like, oh my god, you were four in 2009. Like, what the heck? But okay, so
That's
so
so
four in 2009, you sung around the house. All right, go ahead.
yeah, singing around the house. My favorite song was Tomorrow by Annie. And I remember my parents just being like, oh, that's not half bad. Like, maybe we should just kind of see where this goes. And so I'm just kind of singing throughout my childhood. I started taking vocal lessons and I started singing in church when I was around 10, 11, doing special music. And then I joined the weekly worship team. And then I think my last seventh and eighth grade, I started in musical theater. And then into high school, COVID hit high school freshman year. And I was already in that transition, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be. I wanted to be an aerospace engineer, test pilot for NASA on one hand, and then I was
Wow.
like, oh, I want to sing country music. I wanted to, try out this music thing, pursue that. And so my sophomore year, my family decided to up and move to Nashville during COVID. I had played all around the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and there's nothing else I could really do career wise in Southern Maryland. So, yeah, we moved as a family of six to Nashville. The housing market was insane. So, we ended up buying an RV, moving into it, and moving to Nashville in it, where I lived in that for about 8.5 months before finding some property here in Nashville. So, I like to tell people I shared a bunk room with my brothers for that long. There was one bathroom for the entire family. It was a crazy experience, but it was fun. We're a very close knit family, so it kind of just worked. And we've always joked around that it's preparing us for tour life.
So all right, I got questions. First of all,
Yeah.
like when you had mentioned that like you heard Tomorrow by Annie playing in the house, you sung along to it, your parents were like, "Oh my god, this is great. You have a wonderful voice." I don't know much of a theater scene in Maryland. Like what brought about Annie being played in the house? Is it like did you watch like a TV production of Annie? Did you guys see a live theater performance of Annie and that made you love the song? Like how did that theater connection come about?
It was my favorite movie, so it was always playing on the TV.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and I just saw this little girl on TV singing her heart out, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, I guess I can do that around my house." Yeah, just kind of kept on with that.
Yeah. And God, because you're reminding me of I don't you know you can let me know if this comparison makes you uncomfortable, but like it's a similar trajectory to Taylor Swift, where she, I think, had grown up in Pennsylvania,
I think
and her
that.
parents and her were invested in her career, and they packed up and moved to Nashville. So I guess what led to making that big decision? Like, what sold your parents on, like, all right, let's move to Nashville for your career? Was it just, I don't know, they saw you performing, they saw your dedication, and you like sold them, like you put this hard pitch to them about Nashville and they were convinced? Like, what was that conversation like?
Well, I feel like I never had to convince my parents,
Mm,
on my behalf because from the beginning, they were just a team. They're still a part of every single thing I do.
mhm,
On my 10th birthday, no, my 13th birthday, we, traveled up to New York to meet with a producer. Freshman nope, I'm trying to recall the years, gosh. In middle school, 6th grade, I think,
mhm,
I visited Nashville for the first time on spring break, and I think they saw me fall in love with the Nashville scene, but I think they fell in love with it too. There's not much convincing. In fact, I don't ever recall saying, like, "Hey, we should all move together as a family." It was more so, I might do this music thing on my own when I'm out of the house, but they were like, "No, we wanna help you, like, let's do this. We feel like we're supposed to be in Nashville." My 2 older brothers so I have 3 brothers. My 2 older brothers were off at college. My younger brother and I switched to homeschooling, and my dad had just retired, or was retiring from 26 years in the military.
mm,
And so it just seemed like the perfect time. Like, if not now, then when? And again, we had all fallen in love with Nashville before ever
mhm.
moving there just by visiting. It kind of just happened so naturally. Like, it's crazy to think about. Like, I don't even think I live here. I have to remind myself that all the time.
Mm.
It just,
So you moved to Nashville, what year? What age?
I moved when I was 16, so
Okay.
4.5 years ago.
So I did the math based on the fact that you said you were 4 in 2009. So are you 21 right now? 20?
20. I turned 21 in April.
Okay. All right. How does that feel? I mean, are you excited about that 21st birthday coming up?
Am. Yeah, I grew up, like, playing in bars and stuff, and so
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of different personalities, and just to be the complete opposite of everybody, I was joking around with my parents, and I was like, "Maybe I'm just gonna drink, like, mocktails all day on my birthday."
Yeah, I forgot. I mean, I've
But
heard of I've heard of people like yourself who are under 21, and you're a musician and you're playing in places that serve alcohol, and there's that weird thing of like, oh well, I can't like really engage in that. I can only kind of perform and leave. So I don't
Right.
know. I guess I'm curious as to like once you turned 21, like how does that change the sort of atmosphere of where you're performing? Because a lot of it is like bars and clubs, and people want to have a drink, they want to catch you sing, they want to have a good time. So yeah, that's all very interesting to me. So your first day in Nashville, take me to that. Like, were you scared? Were you excited? Were you overwhelmed? Because I kind of think back to, when I moved to a new place, and I've done this a few times, the first day can just be like, what is happening, and I
Mhm.
feel so weird and isolated and lonely because I made this move by myself and I don't know where to start, and I got to kind of build up a network of friends and whatnot from there. So what was that first day in Nashville like?
It was very scary.
Yeah.
I remember just being almost so excited, but so sad because of leaving everybody behind. I knew one person outside my family in Nashville, but just the culture, the music, the lifestyle, everything was a change for me. And it was very intimidating. A lot of people here in Nashville say that everybody comes here from their small town thinking they're the greatest thing, but
Mhm,
being a
mhm.
great musician is just a prerequisite to being in Nashville because everybody is so talented. Like, the pool of talent is just insane. So it was a big learning curve in seeing how I could be myself but still be lots of room to grow. It was hard to come to the realization that it's just, yeah, so much talent everywhere.
And mm, So, like, maybe you already mentioned this, but did you already come in there with a record executive connection? Were you guys starting from scratch and had to find a sort of deal or connection with a record company or a producer? Like, how did all that start in terms of the networking of it all?
Yeah, so a few weeks in, I had a big meeting with this gentleman that was developing artists, and I was really excited about it. We ended up meeting with him for about 4 hours and decided to not move forward with him. But then, fast forward a few more months, I was signed to an independent label out of Alabama, ironically,
Mm,
and worked with them for a few months. Got to open for Shenandoah, Rhonda Vincent, and some other cool acts. But now I'm independent, which means I get to have creative control over my music, the songs I
hmm
write, the songs I release, what shows I play, that kind of thing.
hmm hmm So, okay. And Hmm. I guess I'm curious as to like what about talking to a producer that might want to sign you to their label? Like, what about them? Like, do you say, okay, this doesn't feel right? This doesn't work out. Does it tie back into what you're saying? Like right now, the pros of being independent, which is like you have more creative control, you could own your publishing, like all that stuff. Like, was
Yeah.
that sort of the vibe you were getting when you were talking to that first music connection that you had mentioned, where you just didn't feel like you were able to express yourself creatively freely?
Well, the thing that is kind of kept quiet, but in order to start an artist's career, um, it takes hundreds of thousands up to, a million, $2 million. So, some people just don't have that in their back pocket. Some people do,
Mhm,
but
mhm,
most don't.
mhm,
Um, so, everything in this industry requires money. And so you have to pay for, especially artist development deals. A lot of that is just paying people insane amounts of money. I honestly don't think I was ready to be developed um, at the rate that they wanted to because I valued still being a kid and growing in all areas, not just in music, but
mhm.
myself as a person and not wanting to miss out on certain aspects. But although I was homeschooled, so I did miss out on a lot of high school events and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but also a record label is really just one big loan. So a lot of people want record deals, but at the same time, are you going to be able to pay back hundreds of thousands of dollars that they have invested into you? So there's so many pros and cons. There's so many legalities underneath all of it. Um, and it really just depends on who you're meeting with and how well you mesh with them. If they see you for who you are, if they see you for who they think you are or who they think you will be. Yeah, there's a million different factors that goes into it.
I wonder if an aspect of you wanting to go independent is the influence of how social media can make someone from nothing to something in the music industry. You already know like the role that TikTok can play on emerging
Definitely.
artists. Like someone can just decide, all right, I'm just gonna play this song that I've been trying out that I've just written and it blows up on TikTok. All of a sudden they have a record deal, they're on the Billboard charts. So I wonder if part of that optimism or push or desire to be independent is maybe a knowledge of like, oh, actually, like there is this thing called the internet where I can release my music out there for the global public to see. And if I work hard enough, if I release it and see and have enough people be aware of it, then eventually I may get what I'm looking for, whether it be a record deal or just I don't know, a financially sustainable sort of successful internet independent way of living, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah. For sure. Well, it's never been a better time to be an independent artist than right
Mhm.
now because, yeah, it's our music is so accessible. And at the same time, it's almost that much harder because the market is so flooded with all of these independent artists trying to do things. So, again, lots more pros and cons.
So, my friend Craig that I mentioned,
Yes.
he's a DJ, he's been in the music
Oh,
industry. Yeah, so he has been working with this wonderful 14-year-old singer, but not like releasing any content. Like they've been working privately on her vocals and ironing out a few songs here and there. Like cuz I mean he's in his 50s. He comes from the music industry where it's like, all right, privately you start in the clubs and all these other venues where not many people are going to see you because you want to take that opportunity to fail, make mistakes, figure out what your brand is. And his strategy is let's figure all the kinks and all this stuff out privately, and then once we have some wonderful polished songs, then we'll start rolling them out one after another in public. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I wonder if that's in you performing in live venues and spaces where you have that one-on-one interaction with the public, say, you're at a
Yeah.
bar or whatever. I wonder if that comes to mind is just, okay, let me like use all these opportunities to just grow as an artist, maybe not be focused so much on recording this for TikTok and getting like millions of views. And I don't know,
Right.
does that ever come into mind when you're performing in person like that?
Yes, no, that's exactly right. Every performance is an opportunity to fine tune your craft. Yes, you've yeah, got it. That's how I see it at least. There's so many shows where there are a whole bunch of people, a big crowd and you just, you soak it all up and you're just taking all that like energy and you just have so much energy and you're just giving this show your all. And then sometimes there's almost nobody out in the crowd and it's like, all right, are you going to still make the most of this? And in my mind, yes, every show you play as if you're playing in front of 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 people because your show will just, when you have that in mind, you're going to put on the best performance you can. Every show is an opportunity to fine tune.
When you're performing live like that, I
Yeah.
wonder, are there people that like record you and then want to post it? And if so, like, are you sensitive about that? Because that's essentially another version of you posting your content yourself. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you thought that you had a bad night or working some things out with that song, or maybe not ready to release that song yet. So, how do you feel about performing live in person, knowing that there's a possibility that the audience is going to have more control of like releasing you to the public globally, maybe before you're even
Yes.
ready, you know?
I don't I don't really think about that too often.
Mhm.
Um I appreciate that they do. I just feel like that says to me that they're in a moment they wanna remember, that they wanna capture, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Cool, sweet." There have been a few times where I've played my original music and people have said, "Hey, is this released? Can I find this?" And I'm like, "Actually, no, it's not out in the world." And a few people have told me some really private stories about things that they've gone through with their families and how the song really spoke to them. And I'll say, "You know what? I'll send you this. It's unreleased, but here's this work tape or a demo or mix of this song that I want you to be able to listen to because it means so much to you because it means a lot to me that, this song spoke to you."
Who are the country musicians that you're listening to that you're loving right now?
I love some Cody Johnson,
Okay.
Cameron Marlowe. I've always been a big fan of 90s country music too, like
Yeah.
Martina McBride, Faith Hill. I grew up singing Carrie Underwood. I like Jason Aldean. I could just sit here all day long and list.
You're born in 2005, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Tell me how you get access to 90s country music. I mean, that sounds like a stupid question. Obviously, there's the internet. You could easily get access to it. But what I mean is like to someone who was born in 2005, not the 90s. You didn't grow up, you weren't
Right.
even existent. Like
Mhm.
how does that connection to music before your time start? Is it like you overhear your parents listening to it and then you fall in love with it as well, or maybe your parents or an older adult figure is recommending it to you? Like how do you get connection to that music from the way past?
My parents introduced me to it.
Of course, yeah.
Um, they also played a lot of, like, 80s pop rock, which I love. And I'll also get a lot of people during live shows or friends or family saying, "Hey, you should learn this song," or, "Hey, I think you'd sound great if you did a country rendition of Sweet Child of Mine," or whatever. So, 90s country music was from my parents, but again, I'll get like, I just got a message yesterday on Facebook of somebody saying, there is a song from Shinedown they think I should
Okay.
cover. So just if people have me in mind, they'll send me some messages, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's really cool. I wouldn't have known that, so thank you."
And that was kind of another question that I had for you is like, because for example, I listened to a few of your songs on Spotify, and you did a beautiful cover of Holy Night, the Christmas song, "Oh Holy Night." Yeah,
Yes, thank you so much.
loved it a lot, and I wonder, like, what goes into you deciding to do covers of all these very iconic songs, and, I was wondering if there was a part of it where it's like, "Alright, well, people know the song,"
Mhm.
and there is a segment of people out there that are like, "Alright, I love this song, and I'm open to hearing covers of it," so maybe that is your way into getting more and more of an audience. So I wonder if there's some of that into your deciding to do covers, or is it mostly just because fans suggest it to you and you go for it?
So that song, in particular, has always been my favorite Christmas song, and I
Mhm.
grew up singing it every year at church, for my church's Christmas service. So that one holds a very special place in my heart, and I always knew that if I had the opportunity to record a Christmas song, it would be "O Holy Night." So that was the heart behind it.
Okay. And it's a great listen. I totally enjoy it, and
Thank you.
of course, I also enjoy your latest single, "Trouble I Chase." Can you talk to us about that song? What it's about? What inspired you to? You wrote it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about the process behind creating that song.
So I was in a room with 3 other friends, and we were co-writing, which means multiple people are in one room together, and we're creating the song. So we'll all get together and we'll start sharing ideas. Someone will have typically a guitar on hand, or everybody will, and we'll just start playing around, saying, "Hey, I have this idea. Oh, what do you think about this melody? Maybe we can take it from this angle. Maybe we can add these lyrics," that kind of thing. So, Trouble at Chase, once we got on that track, it kind of just all fell out and came together so beautifully. It was almost like the song wrote itself. And once we wrote it, we felt like we needed in the recording to capture this fun, high energy summer song that you can listen to with the windows down. One of the first few days of spring, like just that emotion. We wanted to capture all of that. And yeah, that's kind of how we just created it. It came out of nowhere, and it was so fun. It was so beautiful. I had the time of my life recording it, and actually, the guitarist who's playing on the track also played on Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone.
Oh,
So you can hear some of that influence in there, which I love. I've always said, if I have the opportunity, I want to release a cover of Danger Zone. My dad's a fighter pilot, and that's always been one of my favorite songs. So, little
wait,
side.
is that cover out there? Is anything stopping you from doing it?
So I'll play it during live shows. I do have plans for other songs to come out first, but I don't have that one recorded yet, but it's pretty high up on my list.
I'm curious as to what your day to day, your work life balance is like. You're not in some sort of college homeschooling. I'm assuming you're done with school. Okay. You just told me that you came from a like a writing session. Were you writing songs before you came on here? Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what is an average day for you? That might sound silly because it might be all different depending on like what live performance you have to go to. But I wonder if like there's a set schedule that you give yourself. Like, all right, Kaitlyn, this is the time that I'm going to spend writing. This is the time that I'll spend live performing. Like, what is your day to day like?
You know what? I was just talking to a writer friend this morning about this. Um, I love routines, and I try to have a routine, and I get 2 days in, and life's just changes. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Every single day is different, which is so exciting to me. Yesterday I had the past few days I've had meetings, I've been on a bunch of calls, had a bunch of emails to respond to. I'm leaving town tomorrow to play some shows in Chicago. Today I'm writing. It's all just very, very crazy. I do try to prioritize, working out in the morning. A lot of mornings, I'll wake up at 5:30 and I'll read my Bible for a few. I'll go to the gym, and then writing sessions in Nashville typically start around like 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So if I'm writing that day, in the morning, I'll go to that. And sometimes I'll have meetings afterwards. Sometimes I'll have shows here in Nashville. Um, and then any leftover time, I try to get out and, hang out with friends. Doesn't happen too often, but sometimes I'm lucky to have some fun time. But yeah, today I came to RCA. RCA is such a legendary
Yeah.
historical studio. That's where I'm at now. This actually used to be Chet Atkins' office, which is
Oh,
crazy.
and I'm
There's some
sorry, Chet Atkins is who? Is he a country singer?
yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there's some look at the records.
I see some record label photos there. It looks like there's been a lot of legacy in that office.
Yes, yes. I'm so honored to be here writing today. But yeah, this is just kind of what it's like. I was here for a meeting yesterday and then here for a write today. And yeah,
So
it's
okay, so I know you're an independent artist right now. Are you I don't know how much you want to reveal of meeting with RCA, but is this meeting with RCA like you're trying to become affiliated with them, or or you're testing the waters to see if you want to become affiliated with them and not be so independent? Like what's that like?
well, I think every artist's dream is to record at Studio A,
Ah, yeah, of
because
course.
you have Dolly Parton, Chris Stapleton, anybody you can imagine,
Mhm.
they've recorded here.
Mhm.
They've walked these halls, you can kinda just feel it, and yeah. But I'm actually here supporting Label 22. They, have their office in the RCA building, and, they're an all-veteran label.
Mhm.
And the work that they're doing is just absolutely incredible in support of veterans in the music industry. Me being the daughter of a veteran, it means the world to me that they're, kind of taking me under their wing and whatnot.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I would highly recommend checking out Label 22 and, seeing how you can support them. They're some of the best people I know.
Okay, okay. So, are you hoping to so are like you want the feeling of being able to record your music in Studio A, and maybe not necessarily like being signed with RCA, it's like you're recording music there, is that what I'm understanding?
Well, getting signed with RCA is, pretty difficult, but,
Yeah,
if they did have an offer on the table, I would be very excited about it.
of course.
There are some future plans under wraps, for the time being,
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm just kinda soaking it all in being here.
Yeah. Um, can I ask, like you had mentioned, you try to take some time to read your Bible.
Mm.
What exactly does that offer you? Because I don't know. I'm trying to liken it to like for me, like I have to try to get in my I don't know 10-20 minutes of morning meditation before I go off and handle the day, my work day, because the day can become very crazy and busy and
Yeah.
stressful, and you need to have like some peace of mind and perspective. So is that kind of what you look for when you go through the Bible, is to just kind of gain a sort of calm Zen perspective on the world, or is there something else?
Yeah, I just find it important to start my day off with that and just yeah, kind of let that guide me throughout the day. And I've noticed I'm a lot more in tune with my beliefs and everything when I am
Uh-huh.
reading the word as a part to if I'm on the road and traveling and just busy and like just caught up in life. Like I notice I get a lot more stressed easily and I just things don't go according to my plan. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just recentering myself every morning just puts me in the right mindset.
Do you have like any favorite verses that you go back to? Like just a verse that like really keeps you in touch with yourself, that really kind of defines where you are in life? Like anything you go back to, or is it like a different verse every day? Like how's that? How does that work?
Um, Well, I'll say a lot of I refer back to James a lot. There's a lot of things in that book that's really relevant to my life right now.
Hmm.
And I feel like every time I read that book, specifically, it really speaks to me. And it's only a few chapters long, which is nice. You can
Yeah.
pull all that you need in just a few chapters, and yeah, it's really powerful.
It's nice.
But I've noticed setting time aside to be in the Word helps me in all areas of my life, which
Hmm.
I wouldn't have necessarily thought. But, it helps me make the right decisions and be a better person and be a better friend and daughter, um, a musician and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I liken it to different things in my career. Like Jesus was a servant to the people. I feel like I'm a servant to the people that like my music because it's my job as an artist to listen to what people are saying and find how I can relate to that, write songs that are moving and meaningful to me, and kind of give that back to the people. So just finding similarities like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I guess another question that was rolling around in my mind is like the role of gospel music in your life, because I know that some of our most famous, call them secular pop singers, you take Whitney Houston, for example, like they started from the church. They started singing those classic gospel songs as a way to get into the mainstream world of music. And I guess I kind of wonder, like, where is that in your life? And if you ever had a thought of like, oh, let me like dive into country gospel, or let me do like a completely gospel album. Like I'm curious about that, if that ever played a role in your life, or were you always drawn to I guess you could call it secular country music. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always felt most at home singing secular music with the hope and intention of providing the message of what everybody is singing about in gospel music and
Hmm.
Christian music. Taking that and believing it to be true and putting it in a way that maybe people that don't believe that,
Hmm.
we can still find commonalities between us, and different things to relate to. Um, so yeah, and Christianity is a really big part of country music, and it's a lot more acceptable in country music to sing about, going to church and all those things. So I enjoy getting to write songs about blending the two together because
Hmm.
they're both me. Um, yeah, so I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. Well, provided that we have no technical issues, I would love to play your song "Trouble I Chase" after we get done with this conversation in the final version of this interview. I thank you so much for your time, Kaitlyn. This was great. And how can people find you? Give us all the socials. Give us your website. How can people keep in touch with your music?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, John, for having
Yeah,
me. This has
of
been
course.
such a pleasure.
Yeah,
Well, so everybody can find me on www.KaitlynCroker.com, my website. And then I'm Kaitlyn Croker on all of the platforms and as well as all the streaming platforms. So social media, Kaitlyn Croker, official, and then Kaitlyn Croker everywhere on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you listen to your music.
absolutely. And that's the same place where those of you listening and watching, you can catch the Delicious Culture. Catch us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, SiriusXM, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. If you love us on Spotify, give us a 5-star. And if you love us on Apple, give us a review. It really helps the algorithm. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, feedback, anything in particular about this conversation that I had with Kaitlyn, email thedeliciousculture@gmail.com. That is thedeliciousculture@gmail.com. And at The Delicious Culture is where you can find us on social media: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Subscribe, comment, like, share at The Delicious Culture. You can follow me on TikTok at Jon Francois Presents. Kaitlyn Croker, right? Croker.
Yes, you got it.
Somehow you make me think of Quaker oatmeal. I don't know why.
That's a first. That's so funny.
Do you
That's so
like oatmeal? Do you like Quaker oatmeal?
yeah.
There you go. Love it. Love it. All right, Kaitlyn, we are hopefully going to play your music after this. Let's hope that technology is on our side. And thank you. I hope to talk with you again, and best of luck on your career.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. Looking forward to staying in touch.
Absolutely. All right. For those of you listening and watching, let deliciousness ring.